Hi there and welcome to this short course on video production for churches. My name is Josh Ward. I have a degree in digital film production, currently work in video marketing, and before this I did a stint of about 5 years in 2 different churches, producing all the video content that we could possibly think of. I cannot wait to pass on not only a really solid basic understanding of making videos, but also making the type of videos that your church is going to want. The type of videos that will really benefit the people in your church, and maybe even reach beyond that. So the way this is going to work is in 3 classes. First, we'll start by talking about pre-production. It's often overlooked, but I guarantee you that nothing ever actually ends up happening without pre-production. Then, within this first class, we'll move on to a few production elements, talking about getting that record button hit for the first time. In class 2, we'll carry on with production. Can you shoot on your smartphone, or do you need a real camera? How do you get clear sound? And some really helpful lighting tips. We'll just be scratching the surface, so remember there are so many cool videos online about how to do specific things, and I might be able to give you some tips on things to listen to and things to maybe ignore, because there is a lot and it can be a bit daunting if you're trying to learn more. I also have a larger course coming with about 10 classes that's going to go into a lot more depth on the technical side and give you that next level confidence to make videos and put them out there for people to see and enjoy. If you're doing this for a slightly bigger church that has more money to spend on producing videos, then definitely look out for that course. And finally, in class 3, we'll be looking at the basics of video editing. How do you get those nice looking videos that you filmed out the door and onto other people's screens? Nowadays that can happen on a phone, and as much as I'm going to encourage you guys to use a computer to do it, because I'm old-fashioned, it's totally up to what you're most comfortable with. I'm just here to give you the foundation for you to get started and keep learning things along the way. The last thing before we get stuck in, learning is the name of the game with video making. It is changing so fast. 5 years ago, editing on a phone would have been laughable. And 10 years ago, filming on your phone was terrible. But here we are. And if I can encourage you guys to do one thing, it's just to stay open-minded about what you can and will be able to do with video in the future. So don't think that because you took this course, you're totally sorted. If there's someone in your church or in your circles that you can learn from, then go and learn from them. And if something I say doesn't work as well for you as something else, then do that other thing. Keep making videos and keep having fun doing it. Okay, let's get stuck in with pre-production. This is basically everything that has to happen before the camera starts rolling. I like to do this in 4 simple steps: ideation, research, scripting, and planning. Cool, let's go through them. Let's start off with the idea. And to be honest, if you stopped watching after this single point that I'm about to make, you would already be 10 times better off. The idea is everything. There's a saying amongst video creators that content is king. And what that means is not that the content you create is the most important, but actually that what you film is the most important. The concept, the idea behind the video, the actual content of the video. There's no point to filming anything if you don't have something worth filming and putting out there. So this is one of those things that no one can do for you. You need to go away and think about what you want in your video. Or if your church is asking you to make a video about, let's say, a marriage course that they're running, you need to come up with what exactly the content of that video is going to be. Is it testimonials or past event footage, or maybe one of the ministers explaining what's going to happen on the day of the course? The idea, in a sense, is everything. Everything is downstream from the idea. So if it's a bad idea, don't make it. Come up with a better one. Here are some helpful questions to ask yourself when you're coming up with ideas. What do you want your audience to know or feel? And then kind of tied to that, do you think this thing is going to make them know or feel that? Is it doable? And hopefully by the end of the course, you'll have a better idea of how to answer that. And then finally, do you like it? Because if you don't like the idea and you're the one that has to do it, maybe come up with a better one. This can work for the simplest of videos all the way to the most complicated ones. Maybe you're just doing the announcements for your church over video. Make sure that they get the information they need. It's definitely doable, I'll tell you that one now. And remember to make it fun. You're doing this for your church family. Next on the list is research. This is less important, but I've found it's super helpful to go and check out what other churches have done with that kind of video, like whatever kind of video you're trying to make. And sometimes that makes me change the idea a little bit. Maybe another video seems like more fun or seems a bit simpler to make. It's very helpful to give yourself a little bit of space to test your idea against other ideas. Remember, it is all about continually learning. So if you have some time, definitely do some research. Then it's time to start scripting. That's the third point. This doesn't necessarily mean writing down everything everyone will say, like a traditional script. It just means putting down on paper what you think will be on the screen. It may be a little script of what you're going to say if you're doing a video of yourself or someone else saying something to the camera. Or if it's an interview, then it's coming up with questions and maybe the order you want to do the interview in. So all you're doing with scripting is creating a bit of a blueprint for the video. It's often something more to fall back on. When you're finally standing behind the camera or with the camera in your hands, wondering what on earth you should be doing, then you check the script. And lastly, but very much not least, is the planning phase. This is one of those things that I don't enjoy at all. Some people are great at this, but planning is not my thing. But whether it is or it isn't, someone needs to message those people you want to have in your video and organize a day to film with them. Someone has to make sure you have a space to film in. These things sound very obvious, but it's a rookie mistake that I have seen so many people make, and I have made myself. If you don't plan a video shoot, then your video will most likely not come out the way you want it. This is just a fact. Fortunately, I'm talking to people from a church, and you guys know that everything comes back to people, working with people. Video making is very seldom a solo job. Even if you're the one in front of the camera most of the time, at some point you will probably need someone else. So be prepared for that and embrace it. It is a team sport. So now you've got your idea. You like it, you think it's doable, and it does the job you need it to do. You've maybe checked out some other such videos and refined your idea a little bit. Maybe you've changed something and you've put it all down on paper. And then you've made sure finally that everything is organized for the day and time of your shoot, and you're ready to go. So now for my favorite part, let's talk production. Lights, striking, sound, speeding, cameras, rolling, and action. I think that's the order they do it in. Something that helped me a ton early on making videos was learning exactly what a camera is. When you understand a little about how a camera works, it gives you so much insight into how to create a really pretty image. Instead of just winging it, which I know a lot of people do, I'm going to teach you how to understand why an image or a video is or isn't working and what you can try and change to get what you're looking for. So in a bold move, I'm going to try and explain to you how a camera works by using this old film camera. Fundamentally, you'll see that cameras have not changed very much since they first got invented. At the simplest level, what a camera has always done is capture light. Take in light and store it one way or another. Everything we see around us is just light bouncing off of objects at different frequencies, and I promise I won't get more technical than that because I don't actually understand it because I'm not a scientist. But it's important to know it's light, which is why lighting the thing you're filming really makes it look a lot more professional often. A camera is just a tool for capturing light, like lightning in a bottle. It is a magical thing. And every camera since the beginning has consisted of certain parts that each play a role in how that light is being captured. So let's have a look at this old film camera and break down those parts.